Greetings everybody, this is Winnie Wriggle and welcome back to our Let's Play of Direwolf20's Modpack for 1.16. This is episode 9 and today we are doing all the things. We have so much that needs to be improved on. Quality of life upgrades like enchanting and improving my terrible armor. Getting into immersive engineering so that we can make steel. Getting into mechanisms so we can take advantage of that wonderful mod. We're also going to improve our mining by making a Flux Bore from thermal. Let's take a look at our project box. Here are all the things. Let's start with enchanting and disenchanting, which is a feature of this pack. Also, I'm going to go ahead and take the materials that we're going to need to get started with immersive engineering. And let me do a little show and tell for some of the improvements I've done in the base since the last time we were here. It's not major. I'm just trying to do a little bit every time between every episode. So here's our power generation area. I did clean this up a tiny bit, moved our Stirling dynamo over to the left, put a storage drawer for the resin because it was backing up in the fractioning stills. I did add a second fractioning still and a second tree with 8 more arboreal extractors. But that is still doing a great job producing power for us. We're going to tuck our enchanting area down here in a secret room that I have finished out. I love this. This is kind of an extension of the ravine. It's a small spin-off of the ravine. I don't know what we're going to do with this other space yet. We'll do something. Right now, the vines are there just to kind of cover up the ugly from what I haven't finished. So let's set up our enchanting area here. Super easy. This is vanilla enchanting table, of course. And all the bookshelves. You only need 15. I make 16 because I like them to be even. And then I always put a little chest so we can store our lappy. We'll put a crafting table down here because you always need one. Maybe hiding back in this corner like that. And then an anvil because we like that. And then I also want to make a disenchanter from cyclic. That means we can take some of the gear that I got dungeon trawling and disenchant it and reuse those enchantments. This is a little bit expensive. It is 5 emeralds, a little bit of obsidian, and an enchanting table. I just happened to make another one. So let's make one of these. And this, I think, requires, I don't know if it needs power or not. This is a great question. Yeah, it does. It requires RF. So we'll have to put this over in our power area. Let's do that real quick. Just so it has access. I think if I set it right there, hiding back here, it'll get power. Yes. So we'll have it always on. Basically, you put the item to be disenchanted, a book, and it'll pull the enchantments off one by one. Let me go grab one so we can do that real quick. Okay, so we're back at the disenchanter. I have some books and I have some items that have some very useful enchants on them. These chainmail boots have protection 4, and that would be super useful on the armor I'm about to make. So you can see that it pulls the enchantment off the boots. So now they're just plain chainmail. And now I have a book with protection 4 on it. And it just costs RF, which is amazing. So the next one, there's Unbreaking 3 on these boots. Let's pull that one off. So now I have protection 4, Unbreaking 3. So that's fantastic. I'll use these books on the armor I'm about to make. So we're back in our enchanting area so that I can make some diamond armor. The legs, the chest, the hat, the boots. So right off the bat, I think I just want to apply the Unbreaking and protection 4 to my chest plate. We'll call it the fancy shirt. Protection 4, Unbreaking 3. Whoa, that used a lot of levels. I think we're down to 39 instead of 51. That's okay. That's why we have levels so we can enchant. I'm going to enchant the rest of the armor pieces, possibly remove enchantments from other equipment I have back in the base, and I'll be back as soon as we have an upgraded set of armor to show off. So we've got protection 4, unbreaking 3 on the shirt, protection 4, unbreaking 3 on the pants, unbreaking 3, feather falling 3, and blast protection 3 on the boots. I pulled those off of my old iron boots. And then we're going to add, what are we going to add to our helmet? It's got respiration, which is great. Let's add fire protection. Oh, I don't know. Probably protection 3 and unbreaking. It's not a perfect set of armor, but it is fully enchanted diamond gear that should make us a little bit safer when we go dangerous places like the Nether. Next up, we're going to do a little immersive engineering. I've already made some coke brick for a coke oven. That's simply clay, brick, and sandstone. But I also needed to go to the Nether so that we could make blast brick. So now I can make 27 blast brick. And let's go over here to another new area I have finished for our 2 immersive engineering ovens. Ta-da! So I think we're going to put our coke oven here. And if you've never made one of these before, it's just a 3x3 solid block. And then you take the immersive engineering hammer and right click it and you get, ta-da, a coke oven. If you right click it, you get an interface. If we stick coal in here, slowly over time, it will produce coal coke and creosote oil. You'll need both of those to do other crafting with immersive engineering. Now let's set up our blast furnace. It's done exactly the same way. A 3x3 solid cube of blast bricks. Then you right click it with the hammer. And it also has an interface. If you right click it on, we'll put coal coke in here as the fuel. And if we put iron, it will slowly produce steel for us over time. There are, of course, other steel recipes and ways to get steel in this mod pack. One of them is actually with mechanism, which is the next mod we're going to take a look at. So I'm just leaving the film running as I run back up to our project box because I am so pleased with the way the base is turning out. Like, I knew this was going to be a lot to process, but I really like it so far. Just do a little bit every episode. Eventually we'll have the entire ravine decorated. Okay, next up, a whole bunch of fun with the mechanism and the thermal series. So the thing we want to do with mechanism is just get started in the mod by making the first machine, because you need a metallurgic infuser to make all of the other stuff in the mod. And it's a very simple recipe. It's a couple of furnaces, osmium, redstone, and some iron. So we'll make one of those and we'll save that for a second. We'll take it down to our power and processing area. Next up, I want to improve our mining experience. There are a couple of options for that in this mod. One of them is the mining gadgets mod itself from Direwolf, which is super fancy and awesome and easy to use. But I also want to try out the new Flux Bore in the thermal series because this is an updated version of the mod. So I think we're going to start with a Flux Bore, which is just a drill, if you think of it. And its recipe, which we can afford, is not that crazy. So let's start. We need a drill head, which is just copper and iron. Then we need a gold gear, 2 tin gears, 2, and I've already made the redstone flux coil. Ta-da! Flux Bore. Now, you can upgrade this with all kinds of cool stuff. In order to do those upgrades and in order to charge the tool itself, we need to make something called a Tinker's Workbench. It's also a fairly simple recipe, just a crafting table, some glass, iron, and wood. And we'll also need to take this down to our power area to set it up there. As you might imagine, carrying around a drill that requires power means you need to have a mechanism for carrying around power. So we're going to make a flux capacitor from the thermal series. Stores redstone flux and recharges other items. Right now it only holds 500k, but I believe we can upgrade it as we go. Okay, let's go down to our power area and set down some of these machines. No, thank you. Busy. Thank you. Thanks for the zombie snack, though. Okay, now let's just set up our metallurgic infuser. So the way this works is it literally, you put a substance that you want to infuse into other items. So one of the most common things we do is fill the infuser with redstone, and then we are going to redstone infuse a bunch of iron. And this, of course, is the basic version of the machine. It's going to take a while. This is from Mechanism, and it's going to create infused alloys. Well, infused alloys are one of the basic crafting mechanics in Mechanism. The next one we're going to do is a basic control circuit that also infuses redstone, but this time into osmium. So that'll be the next stack of items that I put in the metallurgic infuser. So we're just going to let that run and do its thing. And let's take a look at the Tinker's Workbench. So it holds 500k power. Let's see, we have modes that are charge and fill, augment. So let's charge and fill our drill, which only holds 50k right now. So we're definitely going to want to increase its abilities. And then let's do the same thing for our flux capacitor. Now that is going to take 500k. While that's charging up, let me go take a look at some of the augments and upgrades we can make to the Flux Bore. So we could blindly look around in the JEI and try to figure out what upgrades go with the Flux Bore, or we could open up our Thermalpedia. This is a guidebook for the thermal series, and it has all the information you could ever want on the tools and items that are made using the mod. So if we go to tools and the Flux Bore, I believe the second page will tell us what upgrades and augments it takes. So we can put an expanded RF coil, a stabilized RF coil, high flux RF coil, and a radial enhancement. We definitely want radial enhancements and an expanded RF coil. So let's see what it takes to make those. If I could spell, radial enhancement adds a radius of 1, and so my understanding is that they stack. Radial enhancement augment allows your tool or machine to affect a greater area. Each augment increases the maximum area by 1 block in every direction. So if we put 1 radial enhancement, we will turn our tool from a 1x1 to a 3x3. Well, let's go crazy. This is not too expensive. Let's make 2 of them and go to 5x5. What do we need? Some iron, some tin, and some redstone. Make 2 of those. Make 4 of those. And make 2 of those. Okay, radial enhancement. Awesome. What was the other one? Expanded RF coil. Increases the RF storage by 4. So I think we could probably just do expanded RF coil. Expanded RF coil. A little gold, a little redstone flux. Can we make 2 of them? 1, 2. Okay, let's take our 2 expanded RF coils and our 2 radial enhancements down and apply them to our Flux Bore. I realize it's an awkward setup and work area. I'll clean this up between episodes. Okay, our flux capacitor is charged. Let's put our drill in and change it to augment and put 1 radial enhancement. And then can I put 2 of those? And then what does that do? 200k! Yeah! Okay, let's put it back in here and let it charge. Maybe. Charge. Yeah, gotta change the mode. There it goes. Single block plus V to change mode. Okay. V. Area 3x3. Area 5x5. Woohoo! Okay, let's go check this out. I don't know where I'm going. Let's see. I changed mining. We don't have to go down here anymore. I actually made the mining portal. In case you've noticed this mysterious dark block, it's just another mining dimension. It's just a mining portal. We right click it. Oh, look, we're in a mining world. There's nothing here but mining. So if we take this down here, so we're down at level 11 where I normally mine, and you can see that mining a 1x2 is getting kind of old for all of our resources. So I think we set this on a 5x5. Look how awesome that is. Oh, we're the mining amazingness. Wow. Okay, also, we're gonna need a magnet for sure. Oh, and if you're curious, between episodes, you might be wondering why I can actually pick all of this up. You might be saying, Winnie, how is it possible that your inventory actually lets you pick that up? That's because I have a pocket storage unit tier 2. These things are amazing. They are reminiscent of the dank nulls. So I made a tier 2 version. Tier 1 is super cheap. It's iron, redstone, and some pistons with a chest. And then you just take that tier 1 and put it with any chest, 2 pistons, and 4 pieces of gold. And now you can have 16 different items, and they hold up to, look at this. I have my cobble, the granite, dirt, diorite, all the limestone and stuff I use for building, netherrack from the nether. Let's add sediment stone and lava stone. That'll help quite a bit. Ta-da! And then we'll use our backpack for the other items. Like the emerald I don't want to leave there. Ha-ha! I would say upgraded mining tool is a success. Vroom, vroom. Ha-ha! Mining's going to be so much fun from now on. Okay, next up. Next up, we clear our inventory of all the craziness that's in here so that we can get to the next segment. Okay, the flux capacitor, which should be charging our tools and items, I had turned off. The way you do turn it on is to put it in your hand. And let's inventory, mode all items, equipment. Let's just do inventory. And I think if you shift right click, you'll notice the little lights change. And now it's draining because it's filling up our Flux Bore. So we can carry that around with us, and it's an extra 500k worth of charge for the drill. Now I thought we might do a little bit of treasure hunting. These are geodes from the Tetra mod, and apparently if you break them open at a workbench, you may get valuable items. So I thought we'd do a little bit of that and see what kind of prizes we get. Oh, Lappy. Redstone. Flint. More flint. Copper nugget. Cool. More copper. More copper. More Lappy. Oh. A diamond. That's nice. Gold nuggets. More redstone. Gold nuggets. Lappy. Oh, pristine Lappy. Oh. Yields increased bonuses when used for item improvements. Nice. Okay, we'll have to experiment with that. We have 3 left. I don't know what that gives us. I think another piece of copper, more copper, and flint. So that means maybe there's a difference. There's copper nugget from create and a copper nugget from mechanism. That's not a bad little haul from those geodes. That diamond is a particular bonus. So let's tuck all that back in our resource chest. It's another glorious morning in Minecraft, and let's go check on our mechanism tool. The metallurgic infuser. And it's out of power. Why are you out of power? Oh, it's out of redstone. Yeah, that would be the infuser part of the name. Okay, we'll let it burn through the rest of these because we need these to get into the next thing I want to do, which is to make a configurator from mechanism and also some basic universal cables. The refined pipes have been great, but I think the mechanism pipes will serve us better as we upgrade our work area to have more machines. And I want to be able to configure those pipes, and we do that with the configurator. The recipe's not crazy, but it does require those infused alloy that we're getting from this process. Okay, let's fill this up. Let's go ahead and throw some osmium in here for the next piece of the mechanism crafting requirements. Osmium infused with redstone gives us the basic control circuits. We'll need those for other machines. Okay, back to our configurator. Let's make an energy tablet. And then the configurator, which is just infused alloy, a piece of lappy, and a stick, which is great. This also needs to be charged. Let's see if we can charge it in our workbench. Maybe? No? Oh, it's charging from the flux capacitor, which is great. Yeah. Oh, a magnet. We should make a magnet. Ring of magnetization from Botania. Not there yet. We have simple magnets. No, that's not bad. How much does that cost? 1 ender pearl. I really don't want to spend ender pearls right now. Yet. I have just over a stack. Okay, the fluxomagnet from thermal, I think, is the way to go. It's just a redstone flux coil, which we have. And then some lead and iron, which we can get to. Okay, lead, and iron. And make it the magnet. Yeah. And it'll charge from the inventory. And I think we can also upgrade this. But for now, feed change mode. Let's see what we got. See? Oh, there we go. That's nice. How far away do you do? It's pretty good. Yeah, that'll be perfect for mining. Okay, we've got our whole mining set up. Excellent. Okay, before we wrap up the episode, let's go take a look at the progress being made by our immersive engineering machines. Because we will need steel to get... Oh, that's loud. You're so loud, dude. Little machine. The good news is we have the muffling mod. Haha! And we can muffle specific blocks. I'll go through and find the mechanism blocks. I already have crop breaking muffled up near the base since I noticed it was far too loud during recording to have all those crops breaking in the background. Okay, how are we doing here? Oh, plenty of creosote oil and 15 coal coke. So we take our coal coke and put it in the blast furnace with some iron, and that is how we get steel. Very slowly. I think we've made excellent progress today. We have a fancy Flux Bore all upgraded so that mining becomes less of a drudge and more fun. Also made a magnet to help us pick up the stuff while mining. I made a pocket storage unit to pick up things like cobble and sand and dirt as we go. We made a flux capacitor to charge all of the machines in our inventory. And we've started down both the mechanism and the immersive engineering path so that we can make progress. I think that's all we have time for today. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. If you'd like to keep up with what's going on in the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe. And remember, as always, you are the shiny stuff that awesome is made of. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.